Madam Mayor, councillors, ladies and gentlemen, it's again my great pleasure to come and open up this conference. I've been doing it for a few years now, and I liked Aileen's introduction. We've got a group of fantastic speakers, but I would like to introduce Doug Patterson first. Thank you very much. I do know my place as far as staff are concerned. Anyway, thank you. Terrific. The whole thing about today, in the context of what's going on in our society, and it's simple. It's the multiple complex health problems. It's the increase and rise in dementia. It's the aging population. It's modern slavery. Yeah, a whole range of drugs, alcohol, this whole context of the society that we're living in just now. And we just owe it so much to the most vulnerable in our community that we look after them better than we're doing just now. And that's the challenge about today. Because while it's all very well having recovery mechanisms to deal with consequences of what's going on, but you'll know as well as I do that the whole benefit and the more effective and efficient approach is about prevention and getting early intervention and stopping the whole issues about abuse and making sure that our people are safeguarded. And this safeguarding conference for you today is very much about learning, understanding, sharing with each other in order that we can prevent abuse, make sure people are safe, particularly in their own homes. You'll know as well as I do that the majority of the abuse happens in people's own homes. And increasingly with the number of carers and family carers, you can just see the picture that's developing in that environment that we're in. And therefore the challenge for you today is about understanding, appreciating. This is your training, this is your development, this is your learning. In order that when you go out into your respective areas and are contributing into this complex picture of safeguarding the most vulnerable people in our community, then you have that better understanding, not just of how the regulations are there, not just of the legals, not just of the statutory aspects of working in this environment, but some of the softer issues. What is it that the gas meter reader sees? What is it that our trading standards people see when they go into homes, when they go into places? What is it that care homes are doing that's better than they did before, given all the pressures that we see coming from the CQC and the standards that are there? How are things getting better, and how can you as individuals make a contribution into that great big picture on the back of your training, your development, your learning, and your understanding of this environment that you're in? And I think today's conference, when I've looked through the program against the pressures that you're facing, then there's a lot of learning that you'll get today. There's a lot of appreciation you'll get, and you make sure that you're debating and talking to the colleagues on your table. And if you're sitting beside your friends on your tables today, when you get a chance to have lunch or move about, go and talk to some other people. If you just keep talking to the same people all the time, you'll just hear the same things. Go and network, engage with some other people from different sectors, from different parts of this big complex pattern of people that are looking after those most vulnerable people in our community. So the conference, through the speakers, through the extended sessions that you've got, through the networking over lunch, I hope that you will enjoy what's ahead of you. You will only get out of it what you put in. Please ask questions. Please talk to your colleagues, as I've said, and use today that you go out of here, and many of you are in the forefront, many of you are frontline, you're frontline people working in this environment. What do you need to know about the second line, the third line, the fourth line of people that are supporting work that you do? What understanding do you need to have about what's going on in this environment in order that each and every one of us can make sure that in this complex, demanding environment, we're looking after those most vulnerable people in our community? Because that's why we're here, and that's our responsibility. But it's more than a responsibility. It's more than a duty. It's the way that our society should be operating to look after the most vulnerable in our community, whether it's adults or children, That's our responsibility as statutory agencies, as voluntary sector, as private sector. Make sure that we join things up. Because if we fail to join things up, then we fail to work in the most effective. That's not just about efficiency, it's the most effective way. So these networks, these contacts, this learning, which you'll get through the day, I sincerely hope you make the most of it. So enjoy what you're about to experience. And it's my pleasure then to introduce our first two speakers, and that's Tony and Maggie. And they're going to reflect on a serious case review, which is a real life thing that happened. So without further ado, and I've got to rush back to the council for a management meeting, but I will be back here this afternoon to engage a little bit more with you. But Tony, Maggie, the floor is all yours. Thank you.